Okay, so we're back with some more blackout tattoos.
Wow.
We're blackout back. We're black with some more backout tattoos.
There we go.
When I was trying to tell people about my back blackout, I kept saying my blackout and like my back out and things like that. Like
Right?
I kept
Because it's all the bees.
Yeah, I got
bu-bu-bus.
my back out done. I mean my black back out black, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
so
just
you're
such
doing it even now.
It's hard not to. Anyway, we're back with more blackout tattoos.
All right.
This one's from David Kuhn. Hey, it's David from Florida. I've been getting tattoos my whole life, and I have a lot of bad ones. Yeah, I
Don't
can
we all?
relate. We all have a few bad ones somewhere. I found your videos and got inspired, so I said, let me send him some photos. Maybe I'll get featured. If not, you still rock. I'll keep you updated as it goes. Thanks for the advice. I've never really had any advice in my life, but that's another story. Anyways, thanks a lot. Well, David, a lot of people give bad advice anyway. You don't really want everyone's advice.
Yeah, you're kind of missing out. Or you're not really missing out. Ooh,
no.
Wow.
A lot of people give terrible advice anyway and have horrible ideas. So he sent us a follow-up 9 days later. What's good? This is David. I sent an email a couple weeks ago. Not quite. With my back out sleeve. That's right. Wanted to send me pictures of the healing. I'll send another set of pictures for the final heal. This is at 10 days. Also, I'm including a rework that just got done. Let me know what you think. Love your reacts. I'm getting great information. Thanks. So, this is what he had, is it? I think this is what he had. And then we go all the way over here, and yeah.
Wow.
Is this new? I think this was when it was fresh. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe that's fresh. Yeah, it's tough to tell, really. Looks like you just did that over the black.
Yeah, I think so. That's color on black.
No, because this is before the blackout. Right? All this blackout was done.
Isn't that the other hand?
I don't know. It's really hard to say. It all looks weird because this looks like the same thing but only done in color. Anyway, I guess that must have been done after the fact. I gotta say, this blackout, like, it's not the worst I've seen, but it's not the best I've seen either.
Because this is only one pass, though, right?
This is only one pass. What I would say is, like, whoever blasted over this other thing, this is fresh. I'd like to see the healed photo of
Yeah,
this
I'm
blast
curious
over.
what the healed looks like as well.
This was blast over here is the part I'm most curious about, honestly. I'm like super interested to know the
How it
story
healed?
on that. Yeah.
And if it was over top of complete black, probably
Yeah.
is
Well,
what I'm
I
assuming.
don't think so. I
No?
think this other sleeve here was just more stuff like what he has at the top and like the forearm that we see. It would be more stuff like what he has on his upper arm.
So zoom into his hand on this one. Like the fingers?
Yeah, no, that's not the same, is it?
No, it is. Go to the next one. The fingers? Isn't
No,
that
because
the same?
there's black here. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, no. These are two separate arms. I would recommend doing, like, if you're going to rework both of your sleeves, I would recommend doing one at a time. Just focus on one, the task at hand kind of thing.
I think so, too.
Like, I know I'm not the best one to say that as I'm always working on multiple projects, but, like, I have set goals that I'm working towards, and I'm not, like, jumping all over the place. Like, for example, people are asking me what's going on with my legs, and it's like,
Nothing.
I'm not doing anything with my legs right now because I'm not opening up another whole fucking problem when I've got all this on the go.
Right? Well, and then...
I will get to them. You know what I mean?
I think, too, so you black out one arm. Like, you work on
Yeah.
blacking out one arm.
Yeah. Get
and
it
then
good.
while you're blacking out the second arm, your first arm is like, kind of marinating and settling.
Yeah.
And then you can go over top of it with color or whatever when
Well,
you're
it kinda
done
looks
blacking
like
out the other arm.
he's not planning on blacking out this arm because
Maybe.
if you were, you would have done that at the end, right? Mm-hmm. But like my thinking is, you should have blacked out both arms by the look of what's on this arm.
Right? I don't disagree with that at all.
So, and then you could have still done this in some way, but I don't know what was underneath of this. Maybe it was of dire need. It's really hard to say what. Like I would need to see what he was covering, but yeah, some of this Blackout doesn't look that great. So, I don't know.
Definitely needs a second pass.
Well, at least it's probably going to need more than one more pass. I think maybe 3. It's not the worst Blackout I've seen, but you know, it's hard to say when you're sending me like very fresh healing photos, because this could look a lot worse soon. And the parts here, like, I think they'll be patchier than the rest. They'll look more like this area on the wrist/hand.
Right, where you can see like the white
Yeah.
lines and stuff.
Well, they'll be patchy in general. So, but it's not the worst. I'd say just keep working on this. And again, if you're doing this, I think the best way to do it is one arm at a time, personally. So,
I agree.
yeah. Okay, so the next email we have is from a guy, Ruffed Earbuds. So that's a good name.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to get way more done, yet I'm kind of broke, so only could afford this 1.75 hours sessions at a time. That's very particular. My end goal is to have where my wrist is to have spikes going into the palm, to rework the seed of life to fit cohesively. Then my shoulder will be half negative space, sacred geometry. This is the tattoo right after. I'll send healed when it gets there. Those little bumps are actually scars from the fire ants, in case you were wondering.
Fire ants.
Okay, fire ants are a real problem. Sorry if the picture quality could be better. I'll definitely try to get good lighting, no type of editing pics for you then. Have a kick-ass time. Thanks for the content too.
Interesting.
Fire ants? Where are the bumps?
Oh.
Are they in the tattoo? This is the tattoo. Just looking here. Right after. So, yeah, this is right after. Yeah, I knew it was fresh, so I'm like trying to figure out where the fucking fire ants come into this. Are they bumps on the
like
lower,
red bumps on the
hand?
wrist, or?
Well, I don't know if the plan is to black out the hand, but you should.
Have at her.
Because, yeah, don't end at the wrist. You should definitely continue down to this hand piece. The black looks pretty good for now, but it is fresh, so it's hard to say. I don't know what... I'd like to see what this other piece is up on top here, too.
Isn't he gonna cover it with like sacred geometry, or is that higher up?
Yeah, he said... Yeah, so the negative space, sacred geometry. Yeah. I think whatever the hell this thing is up here needs to go before any of that happens.
Yeah.
But like you said, he can only afford to do this 1.75 hours at a time. We do things like this at the shop, though. We have a girl that only gets like an hour or two at a time. And you can get a lot done in an hour or two with someone who can do black work fairly quickly. And most decent black workers won't rip you off, but I have heard of people who they'll do 2 hours of black work, but because they really shouldn't do any more of that on you in a day, they'll still charge you their day rate.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, that's actually fairly common.
That's a little
in
vicious.
Blackout. So there are some people where if you go to them and you get, say, a blackout done, and they do half of your arm in 2 hours, and that's very easily achievable by a skilled black worker, they will charge you their day rate. That happens very commonly.
I mean, I guess that's their business.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If you want to play with them, you got to play by their rules,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
And if they're doing good black, it is worth the cost of it. Also, the idea of just doing black work all the time, most of your sessions aren't going to be longer than a few hours.
Right.
But you
I
still
mean, you
need
gotta
to make your
money somehow. Yeah.
Whereas with black and gray shading, you can tattoo someone all day long.
Yeah.
So like if you're working on realism piece, you're just feathering in these soft tones and barely doing any damage, you can take someone 10 hours.
That's true.
You try and take someone 10 hours with blackout.
You're gonna make them
Yeah.
sick.
Well, you could kill someone.
Yeah.
So it does make sense, especially given you're covering a lot of space. But just so you know, it is very common to pay a lot for a little bit of time with black work. So if you found someone who's doing this, an hour rate at a time, 2 hours, then stay with that person. Especially this black looks pretty good. And it doesn't look like they really traumatized you that bad either.
No, it doesn't look too traumatized.
So-
It looks like they, they got it in pretty good for a first pass.
I would definitely recommend going farther, getting rid of whatever the fuck that thing is on your hand.
And the wrist,
Yeah,
and
all
up
of that,
higher.
all that junk needs to go. I would like to have seen what is up higher, but I think this is a much more proficient black worker than the first guy is going to. So if there was a win for the day, then it's definitely the second one. With that said, this point needs to be straightened out if you're going to leave it. It's a little bit wobbly.
It is definitely awkward.
Especially when you have something where there's like one defined point. There isn't a whole lot of lines or anything. Your eye's gonna focus on the integrity
imperfection
of that line.
Yeah.
Like if it's not real straight, everyone will see that immediately.
Yeah, that's the first thing I saw.
Yeah, so it needs to be ironed out if it's gonna stay like that. But with that said, I wouldn't mind if he brought it up quite a bit farther than where it is anyway. So I would bring it up to the tip of the wrist here, rather than having it hang about half an inch below the wrist, or below the hand, rather. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that
I agree.
edge could go right up to the line.
It could definitely go right
So
up.
many people are afraid to fuck with this flexion point. You can
I don't
see the ridge
understand
here.
Why?
They just think that it's going to wear away over time. Like, and then especially with something like black work, if you have nice solid black here and a nice solid black on the other side of that line, and then in this wiggle you have like this deterioration that will happen.
Interesting.
I actually don't think that that's a thing. The people who think that are the same people who think you can't tattoo a palm. And as we know already, even with my callous bullshit leather hands,
Yeah.
you can get that in there.
I feel like
So.
your wrists are pretty black.
Yeah, they're not sweating it. But even here, like this line could be brought down farther.
For sure.
So it's more prevalent in old school tattoo mindset to avoid that area where the wrist meets the hand because the skin changes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,